Hi, it's Mike. Just before we start this video, I know I did a video not too long ago about the same topic, but I think it was important to revisit the topic. So I hope you enjoy this and go on your merry way and be good in your control of diabetes. Hi, welcome back to Mike's Diabetes World. Now, why do I just ramble on about diabetes day after day after day? Well, one of the main reasons is for you to start discussing things with your doctor, saying, I heard this on the internet, and would this work for me? Maybe for you to get out and start doing a group. I really don't feel that right now I could get out and be a support group for diabetics. So I do my little chats on iTunes, YouTube. And I'm really awake tonight, aren't I? Now, so often people think, oh well, you can have sugar this one time. Well, that may be true, but there's also an awful lot of diabetics where sugar can play a devastating role. And we need to be aware of this, and we need to welcome them. There are so many people who are judgmental, and that's what I want to talk today. That you may be trained by the best doctor, and you may feel you know everything. And it doesn't necessarily mean it's all going to work except for you. You could be, oh yes, my doctor says I have to run 50 miles every day and I have to swim across the oceans. And, well, for some diabetics, that isn't feasible. I know when I went to get my service dog, there was a lady who was in the class. There were, how many were there? 1, 2, 3. There were, 4 of us, yeah. 4 of us in the class. And all we kept hearing was, no, that's not the way diabetes is treated. No, my husband is not allowed any carbs whatsoever. And, coming back and thinking about it, I think her husband was probably a type 2. But, his treatment wouldn't work for me, mine wouldn't work for him, or any other diabetic. In fact, I have been such a severe brittle diabetic that a lot of things wouldn't work. Now, I think I've spoken about this before. I got the flu over one Christmas break, and I just kind of got a new insulin pump, and oh, how great it was, and we were all going through the testing, and I got checked out by a trainer who happened to be my diabetic nurse, and I got really sick. And I'm talking, the type of sick, I'll just lay here. Everything you did hurt. And I was, let's say, revisiting meals quite regularly. And so she said, I think you need to go to the hospital. So she talked to the doctor on call, who was actually the partner of my endocrinologist at the time. And next thing I know, I was in the hospital. Now, during that treatment, I went through a stage where they would stop me from having big meals in the morning. Like, you wouldn't wake up and, when I'm talking a big meal, sorry, my itchy finger, that would be something like, people would normally get oatmeal and eggs, and I would get 2 eggs. And that was my breakfast. Granted, I didn't take any insulin for my mornings, but then by lunch, I think I got a sandwich. Dinner, I got more. And bedtime, before going to bed, I would have pretty much as I wanted. And it got into the point where, well, I gotta do this now because I'm gonna be starving in the morning. And I can remember my doctor saying, well, why don't you just order a pizza at night and eat it? Which I did. And, that would work for me. Doesn't necessarily mean it could work for you. And I don't want anything you hear on this channel or any diabetes channel. Speak to your doctor, your diabetic nurse, your dietitian before starting any treatments. I can't say that enough. You need to be available to find a treatment that best works for you. Oh my God, what? And, that's, again, I'm going to mention this again. You're probably sick of me mentioning this, but you need to get a plan with your doctor. You need to find a way of record keeping. Whether you sit down and record it all every day, or you have a system that your glucometer attaches to with your pump, and that prints out all the information. But you have to do this in order that they can find a treatment that best works for you. The worst thing for me was writing out, what do they call them? Your food diary. I know in theory why they wanted this. They wanted to make sure, A, I was counting food correctly, and B, how much was I really eating? Thinking back to how many steps I had to go through, and that if you talk to another diabetic who's, about the same age as I, they would probably go, oh my God, that's not how you treat diabetes. Now, when you're a new diabetic, you are trained that if you're low, take 15 grams of carbohydrate, wait 15 minutes, and, then test again. And if you are still low, for me, that wasn't working. What ended up happening was I was either passed out somewhere, and my passing out is not sort of like, oh, well, there, I passed out. Mine is kind of like, I'm starting seizuring, or going into seizures, and coming out of it, I would be actually very violent, and The fire hall around here knows me, and they know kind of what to do with me. And I didn't build that. I didn't go up to them and say, okay, if you ever come to my place, this is what you have to do, and then I want you to do this, and then do that. It was learning, and both fire and paramedics are both called here, and they both do a super job. Now, when I go into the hospital and try to tell them what my diabetes plan is, it's kind of like, oh yeah, right. No. You have to go through, we have to have the diabetes nurse come and speak to you. And diabetes nurse comes and goes, hey, yeah, I know, okay, I'll speak to them. But if you're, for whatever reason, you don't fall into the this is how it is line, you get into real problems. And I hope that clears up a whole bunch of things. You and your doctors and your diabetic team find what works for you. Hope that helps. Have a great day. Bye now.
This is the